Hi, I'm Eddie. I was a flash photographer, wedding photographer for 7 years with my wife, and focused a lot of time on learning about flash, learning about light, learning about how to use a flash. And it's not confusing to me anymore, but I know that's confusing to a lot of other people. So I've spent time creating videos and trying to make it more helpful. Now today, I want to focus on talking more about flash and light, because if you understand that, then your flash photography, your photography in general, is just going to be way better. That if you can understand how to use that annoying flash in your hand, you'll feel a lot more confident. You'll be excited when you look at your photos, and you'll just feel like you have control. You'll be able to paint light and make a scenario just look better because you have the understanding, instead of just struggling with a flash and being really frustrated about that. So this is all about good light and how good light is gold. Okay? So imagine the first few seconds after waking up on the most beautiful morning you can remember. Go there in your mind. Focus on the light in the room. Can you see the light in the room? Can you see what the light is doing? Let it sink in, right? Relax in that moment. Be in your imagination and just pay attention to how the light's coming in. Maybe the light's streaming in through the window, maybe streaming in through the blinds. It's got a really cool quality about it. So beauty is most intricately connected with light. The darkness can have its own sense of common beauty, but light is what truly paints scenes that takes our breath away. Now, it's not just the location or the pretty decor, because if you can imagine a beautiful scene and then you just put overhead lighting in there, it's not going to be any good. Right? That having proper light can even make a generic scene look way better and way more interesting. Right? So imagine the cruelty of replacing a heart-stopping sunrise with doctor's office fluorescent lighting, right? So if you have a sunrise coming in through the window and it's super beautiful, and then just imagine if you could snap your fingers and change that light coming in through the window for fluorescent lighting. It completely changes the mood of the scene. Right, so in my mind, I see beauty and light when the sun hits the sheer curtains, when the leaves glow backlit by the sun. I see beauty in the sparkling ocean. Overhead fluorescent lighting just wouldn't do the same thing. And it seems funny to even suggest fluorescent lights, but it's not even necessarily obvious that when you pick up a camera, the main thing to focus on is light. Now, when I first started with photography, I was so focused on the dials and the buttons and what is it doing and what can, all this gadgetry, right? But really what I learned as time went on is that the key is light. And if I could just understand light and pay first attention, not second attention, not fifth attention, first attention to light. Where is the light? What is the light doing? Where is there good light? Where is there bad light? Then as I took the photo, way better things just came out. If you are inside of your camera, in the dials and buttons and all that stuff, take a step back and realize that if you can really discover how light works, pay attention to how light works, and then prioritize your light, you'll have a way, way, way better time as you are going on your photo shoots and taking pictures. You're going to have a way, way better time because of that simple switch in priorities. Instead of thinking that I can buy better gear, or I can do this thing. I mean, even if you have an iPhone camera, but your light is amazing, the shots are really going to stand out, right? So envision an all-white kitchen with smooth morning light pouring in the window. Brilliant, dazzling light with the air so fresh, and pieces of fruit adding pops of color. Now imagine the same room plunged into complete darkness. Obviously, it's all black, it's all dark, you can't see anything, right? You can't even see your fingers in front of your face. But then imagine a flashlight popping on, right? A simple flashlight pointing up from underneath your chin transforms the same room that was beautiful and glowing with this sunlight, this sunrise, into this horror scene. Or if you want to play with a flashlight and make it all scary, you can do that because you just tweak the light, right? The fresh morning white walls and dazzling color get replaced by spots and beams of light. So it's the same room, but it's different light. The room didn't change. The room is the exact same, but the light is worlds different. So whether it's a flashlight, a campfire, rows of fluorescent bulbs, a window letting the sun in, or a strobe, it's all just light. It's all traveling at the same exact speed. Did you know this? 60 round trips from New York City to LA in a second. That's how fast light goes. But even though it's all the same stuff, whether bulb or flame, every light source can be entirely different in size, shape, angle, and color. So those are the 4 things to focus on, right? If we have size, that means if you're taking a picture with flash, your flash bulb is probably about that big, right? So that's the size of your light is about that big. Now, if you put your flash into a softbox or a beauty dish, you're taking that same light and you're changing the size of it. Now, you're also modifying a little bit the certain angles and the way that the light is going into those things. But ultimately, the main thing to focus on is just the size of the light. Instead of it being a small light source, it's a big light source. Now, keep in mind here that it's a little bit tricky because the sun is huge, right? But the sun is not considered a big light source. Because the sun's so far away, when you look at it in your field of vision, right, this big. It's not right up close next to you. If the sun was next to you, all you would see is the sun, right? But the sun is so far away that it's considered a small light source. So when I say big or small, it's not just, okay, is it physically big? Yes, the sun is big, but it's so far away that in your field of view, what you see, how much area does it take up in your frame of reference? It's just this small, tiny little speck. But if I stand right next to the curtains and the curtains are this big, because they're right up close to me, that's a huge light source, right? You can see the light on my face right now. It's very soft, right? The shadows here, they're very soft. You can't see a really crisp, sharp line of a shadow. And that's because the light source is large. That if there's a small light source, a tiny light source, like a little LED pen or really a speed light, you're going to get those crisp shadows. Sometimes you may want that, but ultimately understanding how size plays into that whole picture is very important for you to know. That as soon as you start making these connections between like size of light, then when you look at your flash, you're looking at it in a whole new way. You're not looking at it just as a bunch of buttons and this confusing thing. You're realizing, oh, if I just shoot my flash up towards the wall, then I actually make the wall the light source. And the wall is large, right? The wall is really big. So you can take that same light source and by pointing it actually away from your subject and lighting up the wall to the side or to the back or the ceiling, then that light ends up spreading out super wide and then it just envelops the subject. So by understanding the concept of what to do with the flash, you're not just stuck with this small, oh, my flash is small, oh, what do I do? Oh, I need to buy one of those things to go on top of it. Maybe yes, maybe no. Maybe you just need to realize that if you can use your surroundings and shoot your flash into a larger light source, you could shoot it into a white t-shirt. You could shoot it into a bed sheet. You could shoot it into, paper towels. It doesn't matter what you shoot it into. It matters how you think about it and how you can make that happen. So what I want to leave you with today is think about the size of light. Consider when you walk into a room where the light is coming from and how big the light source is. And start noticing shadows on your face everywhere, right? Take out your phone and just walk around with the phone pointing at you and just try to figure out, what are the shadows right now? What angle are the shadows coming from? All that stuff. But notice mainly what's the quality of the shadow? Is it a soft shadow or a harsh shadow? And then play with your flash at night in your room, taking a picture of something, set up a stuffed animal or something that you want to take a picture of, and then play with your flash pointing straight towards the subject, pointing away from the subject, maybe back at the back corner, or maybe up at the ceiling, and start paying attention to how those change the shadows on your subject's face. I hope this has been helpful for you. I'll talk to you later. And please, if you want to ask any more questions about Flash, please go to t.me/GrainHappy, and that's a Telegram group that I've set up so that you can ask me any questions about Flash It's really easy to be able to just press the microphone and just say the question. Hey, I'm struggling with this thing. I'm wondering what you thought. Or, hey, here's a flash photo that I took. I don't know how to make it better. Can you let me know? I'm open for those kinds of questions, and I'm trying to help more. So please hit me up and let me know if you have any questions. Hope you have a good day.